Topic two, talk about variety. Let's talk about me. What? Me? Yeah, no. We're going to talk about me slightly. Over this past weekend, took a trip over to Connecticut. 3 hours, 3 hours back. And we went to see a concert. Wow. Bret, you haven't seen a concert forever. When is the last time you saw a concert? Oofa. Post California, so 2017. Who'd you go see? Was it a band that you love and, enjoy quite a bit? No. We went to go see a smaller, I guess you could call them indie band, called Purity Ring. This is a big band that Lady in Wonderland, Peanut Gallery is into, and yeah, I gave it a shot. Apparently they've been supposed to be going on tour for like the past 3 years, and with the pandemic situation and everything, they just have been delaying. Had the opportunity to go here, and we got to see their show, and they're really good. I would kind of describe their music as like trance instrumental. Not synth, but like it's a lot of samples and stuff. It's like a mix. And yeah, it was really good. The thing that I think makes Purity Ring stand out from other performances is their presentation. So Purity Ring, as I learned, 2 members. There's Megan, who's their singer, and then there's Corin, I believe his name is like their percussion and their sampler DJ dude. Probably wrong term, excuse me. And these two kill it. Now, the reason their show is so interesting compared to other concerts I've been to is, one, their prop design or their set design, and 2 is their like presentation with graphics and stuff like that. So when we went there, small concert hall, we got seats up in the balcony because we're old. No, just because we were driving all day, we wanted to sit down. We got seats up there. We're right on the front of the balcony, so nobody's in front of us. Great. Opening band was a band called Ecstasy. Guys were fine. Kind of like a punk rock. Had a lot of good energy. Couldn't understand a fucking thing the singer was saying. The shame of opening bands, really, not knowing that those settings. But interesting stuff. I'm willing to check out some of their stuff after this. But yeah, so while they're going on, obviously they got their setup. They had a guitarist, they had the singer, and then they had their drummer. Have their setup, and I'm noticing that there's a screen, like a sheet, behind them. And I was like, oh, it's going to be like any other concert. It's going to be like, big reveal that the curtain's going to drop and like, yeah, we're Purity Ring. Woo! They don't do that, but it's going to be that generic concert reveal. I'm like, okay, they're smart. They got the one setup up front. They got the other setup in the back so they can just roll into the other thing once they're cleaned up. It's not this whole transitional time during your concert. Well, that's where I was wrong. This curtain was not for a reveal. It was it was a sheet, but it was like a very thin sheet, and behind that sheet was their set where Corin was. But then when it started, Megan was out front. So you had like this 2 sets kind of thing. Megan was up front singing, and then Corin, once again, I believe that's his name. Sorry if I'm getting this wrong, Peanut Gallery or Purity Ring fans, was in the back doing his samples and stuff. Now, before I get onto what is this curtain about, let's talk about behind the curtain. So, Lady had told me going into this of her past experiences with Purity Ring, how they're really cool, the show's great, and they do things with props and kind of use them as like instruments, but also it's like abstract. So what they did with this concert is they kind of had like, and I'll put some footage here, they kind of had like a jewel crystal formation. And what that would do is, as Korn was playing like the samples and stuff, he could use it as drums. So if he ever hit a jewel, it would do the beat, but it would glow. So he would like hit different ones, glow, glow, glow. So it added a little bit of a lighting effect to it. And throughout the night, it would do different ones. Maybe hit it and it would light up right away, or you would hit it and be like a slow build into this pulse. So kind of cool from a presentation standpoint. Something new, something different. So now let's get into the curtain. What was the curtain for? The curtain was for projections. So I guess they're very into like light show effects and stuff like that, as you could tell, especially from our seats, as I got blinded by a couple of lights as they're strobing in my face. But what they would do is they would have these projection going on during their songs, and they would react to either Megan, the performer, or things that were happening in the back with the beat and stuff like that. So I talked about this crystal structure and how if he hit a crystal, it would glow. For one of the songs, as he was drumming along, they mapped it out really well where this like mist or steam would like fly out of the jewels as he was hitting them. Really, really cool, especially how it lined up and everything and timing. And then later on in the night, there was... So I had noticed with Ecstasy that they were recording their live performance. Had their laptops, their microphones set up. And I noticed on the front of the stage, there was like these three, which I thought were microphones or setups, in front of each of them. When they got off, they didn't clear them off. So I was like, okay, what is that? Is it like a light or something? It turns out that these three posts, one center stage and one to the left and to the right, were cameras. And what would happen is Megan would position herself in front of one of the cameras, and during her performance, she would be projected in this like dust glitter star formation on the projection, and it would be with her. Like it was a live thing with her. So it was either her just singing, or the effects would take place where she would like distort and disrupt into different forms. There was one where it like multiplied her across, so it looked like a wave or a motion as it was going across. And it was really, really cool to see like the creativity that this band has with their production value. Like shout out to their special effects person, because they need a raise immediately. I know it's just simple projections onto there, but the way that they use them to their advantage in their performance, spot on. Really, really good. Yeah, concert was solid. I say they went maybe hour and a half. Played a lot of their songs, I guess, according to the lady. They have 4 albums. I guess they played a wide variety across those 4 albums, not just focusing on the new stuff. So that was cool. Decent sized crowd, a very good, healthy environment. She talked about, obviously, the shit that's happened this past week I was recording with the Supreme Court and all that fucking shit. Talked about that, supportive messages to those affected, and talked about like COVID and like asking for masks and stuff like that. So good to see these two have a good head on their shoulders. And yeah, it's just, these are the people you want to support. So overall, I thought the experience was great, especially for me going into this knowing nothing, hearing a few songs that lady has played from time to time. We did listen to the whole discography on the road trip up. And for me, I was like, I can't tell these songs apart. And I'm sure anyone could say the same thing about like Korn songs or other songs, that other bands that I'm into. Like, yeah, that sounds exactly the same. But it was a great time. Like I said, their presentation, how they performed was fantastic. Really enjoyed their energy. Looking forward to diving into their discography a little bit more, hearing those songs. But yeah, just shout out to Purity Ring. Fun concert. If you guys haven't checked them out, please check them out. Good stuff. Very, I would say, more mellow music, like nothing hardcore or thrashy or whatever, but very cool, very relaxing, good stuff. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun to see that and experience that. So yeah, just one very short discussion here about it, but it was fun going out and doing a trip like this, especially since once again pandemic has happened. Not doing that, or at least being more cautious to it. Something like this hasn't happened in a while, so it felt cool to take the road trip out, have that fun energy of the car ride, and then go see the event and see a different state and a different area and their community, and then come back. And it was a good trip overall. It was only a day we were out there, if that. Like, we got out of work half day, drove out, saw the concert that night, got up early, came back. Like it was a good thing. As Mr. G said in chat, we did leave early, so I guess I'll just continue on like this whole trip. Talk about a perfect storm. So Lady has been waiting to see Purity Ring, obviously, for years and years. Like I said, the delay. And if you don't know, Lady is a big fan of the Colorado Avalanche, her home state hockey team. They're in the playoffs. They're in the finals. Best of 7, so they need to win 4. So they win their first 2 at home. They lose 1 away, and they win 1 more. This was the worst case scenario. Lady was like, oh my God, it'd be amazing if they won the cup at home, and if, they won in 4, because then there's no interference. There was a hockey game the same night as the concert, and in this hockey game, they could have won the championship. They haven't won the championship for like 10 years or something like that. Perfect storm. So it came down to like, oh my God, do we see the concert or do we see the game? So we figured out a way to record the game. Obviously went to the concert. And then the next day, yes, we left very early because we wanted to go see the hockey game. We went totally radio silent on phones so we wouldn't get spoiled by people or the internet. Came home, watched the game. Unfortunately, they did lose, but they would win the championship as of yesterday. So congrats to the Colorado Avalanche. But yeah, it was perfect storm of like, oh no, everything that we want is happening at the same time. So the whole experience was great. Trip was great. It was a fun time. I'm glad I got to share that experience with her and see that experience for myself with them and their concert. Good stuff by both of them. Like I said, the creativity from that group is fantastic. Hope they have nothing but success going forward. And yeah, good to get out of the house and do a trip like this after so long. But yeah, this has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 139. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 911, and you can join us live for the podcast every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/Enigma911. We'd love to have you in on the conversation and in on the chat. In the chat and on the conversation. If you're a subscriber over there, love to have you in on all the fun. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put is one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, support us, and we would love you for it. Appreciate you guys hanging out today, giving this a watch, giving us a listen, and as a closing statement, not to bring it down, but obviously some shitty situations have happened in the country. Just know this podcast, the stream, wherever, is a safe space, whether, for all races, all genders, all ideologies. let's treat people right. Let's get, women's rights, absolutely, what the fuck are we doing? No steps backwards. Like, we need to fix this. Religion is not a part of this. If you follow a religion, that is totally fine. That is your choice. That is the big thing here. That's the big word, is choice. We need to let people choose what they do with themselves. If they want to have a kid, great. If they don't want to have a kid, that's fine too. Sometimes the situation is not ideal for this, whether it's a financial situation, how the situation has unfolded in an unhealthy way. Let people make their choice. Just please support the people around you. Respect goes a long way. Respect your neighbor. Yes, be excellent to each other, like Rainbow says. Exactly. That is the main thing. Don't mean to bring out a soapbox here, but it needs to be said. It's not okay what's happened as of recording this past week. It's not okay. We need to be better. And there's a lot that needs to be better in general. Let's work towards it. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.